Hi, my name is Brian Stevenson, and I'm the founder of CRM Brew. In this video, we're going to check out this new feature that's coming out as part of Spring 23 to create an HTTP callout from a flow. And you might be wondering, if you're new to this, what is an HTTP callout? It's when you ping an endpoint like this that returns back some JSON, and JSON is a JavaScript object notation. And it's when we make that call out and then extract the data and then do something with it in another system, in this case Salesforce. So the first step in all of this is actually not in flow. You need to start off with a permission set. And so I went ahead and created a permission set called catfact, and I assigned myself to this permission set. We're going to use this permission set later on, but it's important to create this one first. Otherwise, you'll just come back to this step later when you realize there's nothing in the dropdown for your permission sets when you create an external credential, which brings us to the next step. We'll go here to, oops, I'm sorry. It's kind of strange. External credentials are under named credentials. And so here, we'll go ahead and click New. I'm going to call this one No Authentication, Custom, and the reason why I'm doing custom is so I can just have an external credential. If I was authenticating through some other means, I would choose OAuth, but this is an endpoint that is freely available to everybody, so we'll just go ahead and call this one No Authentication. Next, we're going to go here down to Permission Set Mappings, click New, and then we're going to choose catfact. Great. Next, we're going to go here to our named credentials, click New, and we're going to call this one Awesome Catfacts. It's going to want the URL. And we're just going to put in the base URL without that trailing slash. Next, we'll choose the external credential that we just created. And everything else we're going to leave as the defaults. Great. Now that we have our named credential, we can go back to Flow, go here to Action, and you'll see a button here at the bottom that says Create HTTP Callout. And sure enough, our awesome catfax is there. And we're going to call this one Awesome Catfax. Click Next. I'm going to call this one GetFact. Get. So anytime you do some sort of a call out to an endpoint, it might be a get, might be a post, might be a put. So in this case, we're doing a get. And then for the URL path, we're going to take the last half of it, /fact, and put it into the URL path. Looks like you can also pass in variables using curly brackets. There's also query parameters that are optional, but we do need to provide a sample response. So we'll go ahead and click New, and then we'll copy, paste, review, and Salesforce will detect that in this JSON there are two attributes, fact and length. One is a string, one is an integer. This is really important. And there we go. It went ahead and created an action for us. Now behind the scenes, this is kind of a cool FYI. If we go over to Apex classes, scroll down, you'll see that it created behind the scenes a dynamic Apex class. So we have these Apex classes, and then we have these dynamic Apex classes. And so in here, it went ahead and wrote all of the Apex for us to do the get fact operation. If you'd like to read more about that, head out to help.salesforce.com and you can look up dynamic Apex classes. It looks like you can add, edit, and delete in a dev org, enterprise edition trial org, or sandbox org. I'm in a trial org right now. So that means you'll probably need to do this sort of development in a sandbox first before moving it into production. So we'll go ahead and go back here. And now that the Apex has been written and we have an action that we can invoke, we'll go ahead and call this one get fact. Scroll down. We'll leave the defaults as is. And now we have our invocable Apex action. We're going to create a screen. Call this one display fact. And on our screen, we're going to put some display text. And we're going to insert a resource. You'll see here our action. And you see that where it says 2xx, that indicates a successful response code. And then we're going to choose fact. We'll click done. And next, we're going to do a connector back to the action to give us a loop. Go ahead and click save. Awesome cat fact. We're going to click debug. Run. On average, cats spend 2/3 of every day sleeping. That means a 9-year-old cat has been awake for only 3 years of its life. Cat bites are more likely to become infected than dog bites. Well, look at all these interesting facts. And I can just keep clicking and keep clicking. And you'll see here in our debug log that it comes back with the JSON response. And behind the scenes, the Apex is doing its job and converting it into something that is understood by the flow. Well, that's everything that I have in this demo. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later.